Well, someone's in trouble. Let's begin. The article says that Rishi Sunak has landed a fresh headache today after a Commons probe into his financial interests deepened. The PM is now being investigated for 2 possible breaches of the MP's code as part of the inquiry into allegedly failing to declare his wife's shares in a childcare firm. He is already under the microscope over Ashita Munty's shares, I hope I pronounced that right, in Kuro Kids company that stands to benefit from the budget. And now it appears that Parliament's sleazebuster Daniel Greenberg is furious with him for publicly revealing the details of the inquiry. Today he expanded his probe and to include whether Mr Sunak also broke section 13 of the Commons Code, which forbids MPs from disclosing details of an investigation. Earlier this month, Greenberg confirmed that Mr Sunak was being looked at for possibly breaking section 6, failing to declare an interest. When the Standards Commissioner launches an inquiry, the allegations are kept extremely vague, so only the rule that was potentially breached is published. This secrecy surrounding these investigations into MPs has long been questioned, but Downing Street quickly revealed the nature of the inquiry related to his wife, Akasha Munty's shares in Kuro Kids, which could profit from the government's expansion of free childcare places and sign-on cash being handed to the new childminders. Number 10, though, insisted that Mr Sunak has declared his wife's shares to the Cabinet Office, which later appeared in last week's publication of the Minister's interests. Miss Munty's other range of financial interests were kept secret. Sir Laurie Magnus, the PM's ethics advisor, said that publishing it would be an excessive and unreasonable intrusion. He added, "It is important to recognise the rights of these individuals to a degree of privacy over their affairs and also to avoid compromising their ability to continue in gainful trade /and/or employment." Downing Street, though, refused to say exactly when Mr Sunak declared his wife's shares to the Cabinet Office. Well, of course I could be wrong, but does anyone else think that it's ever so slightly convenient that as an investigation is going on, suddenly the details get published? I mean, you would have thought that being Prime Minister, he would have wanted to disclose his and any immediate family's business affairs that might trip him up. I mean, obviously, apparently she doesn't have to declare her interests, but if your husband or partner or whatever is involved in the government and something like this could potentially trip them up, then surely it's only right that those details are disclosed at the earliest opportunity, rather than, of course, possibly, and I only mean possibly, waiting. Which, to be honest, I'm not saying he did, but it certainly looks that way, doesn't it? Because otherwise, I'm sure it would have come up in a much earlier publication of such reports, wouldn't it? It just often seems like with most, if not all governments, that there is always some sort of backhander going on, which is often brushed under the carpet until, of course, it is dug up and revealed to the public a little while later. One method, of course, to eliminate this would be for people and their families, when they're made a government minister or actually indeed Prime Minister, to declare all of their business interests, because obviously we want to know who's running the country, don't we? And whilst, of course, it may not be our business how they and their partners make money on the side, what would be our business is if the government is heavily investing in their companies. So it might be an idea that is made a condition of the job that any such details are revealed. And of course, this certainly doesn't look too good on Rishi, does it? Then again, he hasn't exactly done himself much favours over the years either. Not forgetting, of course, a little while ago when Boris gave him the opportunity to be his Chancellor, only for Rishi to appear to go behind his back and create a website saying "Ready for Rishi" in December 2021 before there was even any talk of a leadership campaign. And not to mention, of course, his recent Windsor Framework deal, which, if anything, in my opinion, is only shackling us to the EU via the back door of Northern Ireland, which any Brexiteer surely wouldn't want. Which kind of makes me think he's more of a World Economic Forum stooge, actually, but there's a roughly same sort of likelihood of him being a Brexiteer as me being some sort of anorexic lesbian from the planet Pluto called Zebedee, which I'm sure you can guess by my handsome looks. That isn't very likely. So could this be the start of Rishi's downfall before the May elections, when that actually might be a tough time for him indeed? Although it looks like Rishi isn't the only one in trouble, because in this video you'll see that Labour have apparently been wounded with their latest move. Anyway, subscribe for more and I'll see you in the next one.